done this before. Oh crap, why is it not popping up on? Have you ever done it in Facebook?
Yeah, did you get your stream key? Is that how you're doing this?
Yeah, it's in, let me share my screen real quick. But it's just not giving me the option to go live. Where'd it go?
Oh, yeah, I know why. So the steps are you got to go live in StreamYard first.
Yeah, I'm live in there.
Okay, and then go back over to,
live.
then if you go back over to the Facebook settings, there needs to be a title and a description before the go live button will come up. So in your top right-hand corner, there should be a box. I can't remember what it says, but it asks for details about the stream. So if you put in our title there, then that button in the bottom left-hand corner will show up.
There we go. All right. We were probably live for like a minute there. So, all right, cool. All right, we're live.
Hey, hopefully everyone can see us. First time doing this through StreamYard to Facebook group to everywhere else. So if you guys can see us, just let Ron and I know.
Let me see if I can find the post. Okay, give me 1 second. Let's see. All right, we got one viewer. Let us know if you can see us. All right. Little technical issues, but we'll get there. I'm going to the Facebook now. And when you know it, Facebook doesn't want to load. Come on, Facebook. I think we got viewers, so I think we're live.
Let us know if you can see this. Just type live if you can see this live stream. If you're checking this out on the replay, the recording, just type in replay. Let us know if you saw us on replay.
Okay, cool. We're live.
Success. Hey, everyone.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the live stream. We got a very special guest today. He is the GOAT of Facebook marketing, Facebook organic marketing. If you don't know who Dave is, he's the founder of Unipro with his wife, Lucy. And I met Dave, it's been maybe a couple of years now when I first started using Unipro. It's an amazing tool. I'm sure he'll talk about it some today, but yeah, he's got a really cool presentation for you guys today. So you're in luck. So take it away, Dave.
Yeah, I'm excited to be with you guys here. If you guys are here, if you're watching this live, like I mentioned, do type in live. I'm going to go back and take a look at all the comments. If you guys have questions along the way, you can drop them in the comments. I'll go back and I'm happy to answer your questions. Today, we're talking about something. This is called a Facebook Visibility Clinic. And really the purpose of today's live stream of this training session is to help you diagnose what you need to do in order to get a whole lot more reach and engagement on your posts so that you generate more leads and clients. That's the goal, to generate more leads and clients. And this is for anyone who runs an online business. So if you run an online business and are using Facebook to generate leads, this is going to be for you guys. Ron, because there's a lot of people in your audience who perhaps I've never met before, anyone who's watching this, if you can just drop in the chat what type of business you run. And then when I'm going through the comments, that's going to allow me to see, I'm sure there's all different types of businesses. So I'm really curious to know what type of businesses you guys are running. I will say that what we're about to cover today, this isn't really going to be applicable for anyone who runs an offline business. So if you run a retail business or some sort of bricks and mortar business, you're welcome to stick around. You're going to learn a ton about Facebook organic marketing. But like I said, this is more for online businesses, coaches, consultants, agency owners, service providers, online business owners. I know that many of you guys, we've probably never met before. And to give you a little bit of a backstory, I have a long history in doing online businesses. So I started my first online business in 2009. My first online business was an online fitness coaching business. From there, I did an e-commerce business, which I sold. And then I started a business coaching business online, and now run Unipro, which is a SaaS business, a software as a service business. So I've got a lot of experience across different niches, building different types of audiences, creating different types of offers. And the one thing that all those businesses have in common is Facebook was the main, if not only, traffic source for all those businesses. So I've been fortunate enough to do millions and millions and millions of dollars of sales online, and it's all been driven through Facebook. So I've got a lot of experience that will be able to help you grow your business. And like we said, really diagnose what do you need to change on Facebook in order to get your content seen by more people, to attract more leads, more followers, and to convert those followers into sales. I want to start out by talking about some recent changes that have happened. Let me know here if anyone's familiar with the most recent Facebook algorithm update. Maybe just type update in the chat or in the comment section if you knew that there was an update, if you knew that Facebook has recently pushed out something new about the way the algorithm works. Just type update. And to give you guys a little bit of a background, in case you're not familiar with the Facebook algorithm, really simply, Facebook, it has this equation that determines from all the millions and millions and millions of posts that are made on Facebook, which posts get seen by more people and which posts don't get seen. And this algorithm is something that's changing all the time. It's updated all the time. But recently, there was a big update. And I'm going to give you guys a quote. Mark Zuckerberg, he said when he was talking about this update, the update just came out a couple months ago. We're going to look at the impact of the update here in a second. Zuckerberg said the biggest change to this update is that they're now using heavily AI to determine which posts get seen and which posts don't get seen. Zuckerberg specifically said that right now, 30% of the posts that are being seen or shown to people, more audiences on Facebook, it's 100% driven by AI. And this is different than just a couple of months ago. The result was a lot of posts that typically would have been seen aren't being seen anymore. And I'm curious if any of you guys have experienced this. Has anyone noticed a drop in the number of people who are seeing their posts or a drop in the engagement? Just type in drop in the chat. Ron, I'm going to ask you, and then I'm going to show some examples of what I saw. Did you notice any change in your algorithm recently? Did you notice any change in the number of people who are seeing or engaging on your content?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I went from, some of my posts have gotten like 600 and something comments, and then it just took a nosedive. I mean, it really did. A lot of the two-step posts, like color background type stuff. Yeah, for sure. So I'm excited about figuring it out.
Yeah, and Ron, I don't know if you see any of the comments if other people are saying similar. Are you able to see, did anyone else see a drop in their reach or their engagement?
Yeah, for some reason, Facebook's only giving me like 4 comments. So massive drop. Can't send new message. That's a little bit different. Update, and they're suffering from it. Yeah, a few people are saying, yeah, for sure.
Well, I'll show you, Ron, if you don't mind sharing my screen here. I'm going to show you guys something. It hit me too. And this is someone who's been doing Facebook marketing, like I said, for over 15 years now. I want to show you the image right here. Ron, are you able to see this?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
This graph is from one of my Facebook groups. And if you just take a look, this is the engagement, the number of active members inside this group. Take a look at that trend since the new algorithm hit. It was just dropping off a cliff. And so this had me nervous. And I was thinking, okay, well, what am I going to do about this? How do I get my engagement back up? How do I make sure that my posts are being seen? I want to generate leads. I want to generate new clients. What needs to change? And the neat thing is, it was pretty easy to take a look at the new algorithm and say, okay, I see what Facebook wants now. I understand what I need to do in order to reverse this. And I'm going to show you something really cool. What I did is I'm going to show you guys exactly the tests that I ran and exactly the results. Started running these tests, trying new things on Facebook. And when I figured out what the new algorithm wanted, I'm going to show you something cool that Facebook did. This is showing the new followers that Facebook is sending me. So now Facebook is basically saying, Dave, we see that you're doing what the new algorithm wants. Here's your reward. And this is the same for you guys as well. This can be true for you guys as well. As I scroll through here, you can just see day after day, Facebook is sending me all these new leads. These are people who are choosing to follow me on Facebook because Facebook has shown my content to them. Pretty exciting, right? These are free leads that are just coming over into my world, and many of these are converting into clients, and I'll show you how in just a second. Ron, you can stop sharing there. For anyone here who's experienced this drop in the number of people who are seeing your content, that's what we're going to fix today. Is we're going to focus on what do you need to do to play by Facebook's new rules so that your content gets seen by more people. Let's start. We're going to do a little exercise together. And today, this training session, I'm going to be teaching a lot. I'm going to be showing you a lot of what I've been doing behind the scenes so that you can do it as well. But it is going to be interactive. So I need everyone here to pull up your Facebook profile because I'm going to walk you through some steps that we're going to do to just diagnose how much this impact, or how much of an impact you felt as this new Facebook algorithm has rolled out. So if everyone can pull up your Facebook profile, so go over to your profile, and ideally you'll be doing this on a desktop, or it could be on a laptop, so on a computer as opposed to a mobile, because we're going to be walking you through some steps that you can do a little bit of a diagnosis. So Ron, if you don't mind sharing my screen again, I'll just walk everyone through this. You'll see here, I'm over on my profile. And what I'd like you guys to do is go down here, and you'll see under posts, right now, by default, all your posts are in what's called list view. And maybe you didn't know that this existed, but there's actually another very helpful view. It's called grid view. And I'm going to get everyone to click on grid view. And what Facebook is going to do, it's going to organize all your posts by month, by when they were posted, which month they were posted in. So everyone click on grid view, and now you're going to see there's my July posts, there's June posts. Makes it really nice and organized, right? Now what I want to do is I want to get you to take a look at your posts from July, and I want you to see if you can identify any posts that you remember. Just taking a look at the post, you remember, oh yeah, that was a killer post. That got so much engagement, and you know that you got a bunch of clients from that post. So just see if out of your posts in July, are there any winners there, any big winning posts? And if you could do me a favor, in the comment section, if you see any in July that just crushed it for you, just type July. My guess is very few, if anyone here, had any posts that crushed it in July. I'm going to tell you why in a second. Scroll down and take a look at June. Same thing. Just do a quick little overview. And if you need to open up any of these posts as a bit of a reminder, you can just right click on them and open them in a new tab. And just tell me in the comment section if in June you had any posts that crushed it. They got a ton of engagement. So many leads came over because of that post, and you got a bunch of sales from that post. Just type June. And then we're going to go back one more month to May. Same thing. If you saw any posts here that crushed it for your business, tons of leads, tons of engagement, tons of sales came from that post, just type May. Now, I mentioned that my guess is most people won't be typing May. They won't be typing June. They won't be typing July. And the reason is because if you're not getting a ton of people seeing your posts, it's impossible for you to get engagement. If Facebook's new algorithm isn't showing your posts to the right leads, it's impossible for you to make sales. If anyone here, you went through and you took a look at these posts, and in May, June, July, there was nothing that really stood out as a big winner, can you just type nothing? And that just lets me know that there's nothing that stood out as a post that really crushed it for your business. And that tells me that there has been an impact from the Facebook algorithm update on who's seeing your content. Ron, what are you seeing? You can unshare my screen there. What are you seeing in terms of comments? Did anyone have any posts that were crushing it for them?
We had one person say July. I had a couple in one in June and one in May, I think, that did pretty well. But in July, I've had a couple of somewhat decent ones.
Yeah, and that could be the case. You know, maybe you're watching this and you did have one or two that really crushed it for you. But if you haven't been making any changes based on how you're marketing your business on Facebook, chances are those number of winning posts are getting fewer and farther between as the months go on, especially May, June, and July, since that Facebook algorithm rolled out the new update. So what do we do about this? If you've clearly seen that your posts are getting less engagement, you're getting less leads, you're getting less followers and less sales from Facebook, how do we fix this? That's what we're here for today. So I'm going to walk you through the 3 steps that I used. And remember, I showed you my engagement was tailing off. And then I made these 3 shifts, and now engagement has been through the roof. So many followers, so many leads, so many sales coming over here. These 3, I'm going to walk you through the 3 changes. And as Ron mentioned, I do use a software. It's called Unipro. Ron uses it as well. Unipro, it's just a software that allows you to do a bunch of tasks, a bunch of marketing actions on Facebook very, very easily. I'm going to be showing you how I use Unipro to make this process so much easier. So without further ado, let's get into, here are the 3 changes that I recommend everyone here make to how you're using Facebook to generate these leads, to get more people engaging with your content. The first, number 1, is simply to grow your audience. Can I get everyone here to type in grow my audience? If you understand, if you're with me as to why that's so important. If you're not growing your audience, it's kind of like this. Has anyone ever watched any of those YouTube channels where people do trick shots, or they do these tricks? Ron, I don't know if you've ever seen this, when people will be doing like basketball trick shots or ping pong trick shots. You ever seen any of those YouTube?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And I was thinking about this. I was watching this one guy, and he was standing in a soccer field, and he was kicking a basketball across the field at a basketball hoop, trying to kick it in the hoop. And I don't know how many takes of this he took, but eventually he did it. He kicked it in the hoop. And I was thinking, can you imagine if you're one of those YouTubers doing these trick shots and you're practicing, doing hundreds or thousands of these reps, and then finally you hit the shot and you go and check the footage and your camera ran out of battery? It'd be crushing, right? The same thing is true when you're running your business and you're posting on Facebook. You could be making the best posts, giving the best value, delivering so much more than your competitors. But if you don't have an audience that's growing with the right leads, who's seeing that content, what a waste. What a waste. So what do you do about this? Well, how do you grow your audience? There's two places that everyone here needs to be growing your audience. There's two places: your profile, and then if you have a Facebook group, in your Facebook group. I'm going to go over and I'm going to show you something here. Ron, if you could share screen here. And on my profile, you'll see over here, I've got a friends list, so about 4,900 friends. This is a prime place to be growing your audience with targeted leads. The other place on your profile, if we scroll up here, is your followers. And remember a second ago, I just showed you how Facebook was sending me all those targeted followers. We're going to show you how to get that as well. So this is one place that you should be growing your audience on your personal profile. How do I do this? Well, inside of Unipro, I'm going to go over and I'm going to show you inside of Unipro the tool that I use that does this. So I'm going to go over here. This is the Unipro tool. I know it looks like a lot right now. We're going to go through some steps that you can do on Facebook using Unipro to grow your audience. The first we're going to use here is called the lead generator. And there's 4 different ways that I use Facebook through Unipro to generate a really big audience so that when I post content, I know a lot of people are going to see it. You can generate a big audience through the Facebook groups you belong to. You can see here, we can generate leads from the groups that you belong to. You can generate leads from other people's content. Other people are posting content and that content attracts your ideal leads. You can use that content to build up your audience. You can also use other people's audiences. Imagine this. Everyone, I want you to think about someone who's a competitor of yours who has a really good Facebook audience. Maybe even put it in the chat if you can think of someone who they've just done a great job building up their Facebook audience. Anyone come to mind? Drop it in the chat if you can think of someone. If someone has your exact targeted ideal audience on Facebook, wouldn't it be awesome if you could take their audience and bring those same audience members over into your audience? Well, that's what Unipro does through this from people lead generator. And you can also generate leads in your personal profile from the suggestions that Facebook makes. Let me show you an example here. I'm going to generate leads. I'm going to bring leads over to my personal profile from some of the groups that I belong to. So what Unipro does, it's got a list of all of the groups you belong to. And I'm sure you've done this already. I'm sure you're already out there joining Facebook groups where your targeted leads hang out. You can see as I scroll through here, I don't know, I'm probably a member of 100 different groups where my ideal leads hang out. I'm going to go and pick one of these groups here. Let's pick this one. 7-figure SaaS agency scaling secrets. So this is for agency owners. This is one of the targeted audiences that I would like to target with my business. And then I simply tell Unipro, okay, from that group, who do I actually want to bring over into my personal profile audience? I want to get coaches, consultants, course creators, CEOs, owners, agency owners, all these different people here. These are the types of people that I want to bring into my audience. And then I simply go and tell Unipro, okay, go to work. What Unipro is doing right now, it's going over into that group and it's searching through all the group members who are already pretty targeted. That audience, this group that we looked at, it's for SaaS founders. It's for agency owners. And then Unipro is going through all the members and it's searching for people. Okay, who's a coach in here? Who's a consultant in here? Who is a business owner in here? And then those people are going to be brought over into my audience. Now, I'm going to go back over to my profile because I want to show you something here. And then we'll come back and we'll take a look at the results that Unipro's found in just a second. So over here, remember that I said I've got about 4,900 friends. Your job is to fill up your friends list. And you probably know this, you've got a maximum of 5,000 friends. Your job is to fill that friends list up with your best targeted leads. So every single day, you should be out attracting leads over into your personal profile audience. And as you do this, Facebook's going to look at the type of people who are coming into your audience. And Facebook's going to see, okay, these new people who are coming into your audience, we're going to show those people your content. And as those people engage on your content, Facebook sees this and says, okay, cool. We see that the type of person that comes into your audience is this type of person. We see that that type of person engages on your content. So we're going to show your content to more people like that. And lo and behold, that's how you're going to start getting followers. Remember, I showed you that list of all those followers Facebook was sending my way. It's because I'm giving Facebook a template. I'm saying, these are the type of people I want to connect with. They engage with my content. Facebook says, here's some more, Dave. We're going to reward you for helping Facebook grow and be a popular place to hang out. Ron, if you have any questions about this or anything to add, you can pop in here in a second. I'll show you. Unipro right now, it's going through all those members of that group, and you can see there's some people who aren't a good fit. There's been 37 people who aren't a good fit. Maybe they're not business owners, or they don't have an online business. They're not an agency owner. But so far, it's already found me 2 leads. Unipro sent a friend request to those people. Those people, when they accept my friend request, as I mentioned, Facebook's going to start showing my content to them, which is going to allow me to attract more engagement and then also get more followers. There's my 3rd lead. I'm going to stop this. Ron, before I continue, anything that you want to add, or any questions or any experience that you've had from using a strategy like this?
Yeah. So when I first started, Unipro is it's a lifesaver as far as like time's concerned. I mean, so you can literally send like 50 friend requests in 5 minutes, whereas that might take you a couple of hours if you're doing it like by hand, because I don't know what magic y'all have in the background, but literally if I do it manually, I'll get the restriction on I can't send friend requests. But if I do it through Unipro for whatever reason, that almost never happens. So I don't know what the difference is. I mean, I don't know, but it's a huge lifesaver. And the kind of the strategy or the system or process that you teach, the checklist that you might be going into later. My first 2-step post was after that took off was after using Unipro for, I don't know, maybe a month, three weeks, a month. And it was my first 2-step post, and I probably got 150 comments. So I was like, holy shit, this stuff works. Sorry for French, but yeah, it's awesome.
I love hearing that. And the truth is, the more that you do what Facebook wants you to do, the more Facebook rewards you. So when you're out there sending friend requests to the right people, and those people accept your friend request, come into your audience, engage in your content, Facebook's just going to reward you with more engagement, more reach with your posts, and more followers. I do want to show you
something happened to your screen real quick, but you're good now.
I'm back.
Want me to show your screen again?
Let's see here.
You're at your camera actually, but it's fine now. There we go.
Am I back?
Yep.
I want
your screen up. You want to see that?
Sorry, say again?
Do you want your screen up?
Yep. Yeah. I'm going to show you guys something else. One of the things maybe you're thinking is, okay, Dave, you said that there's 5,000 friend spots in your friends list. So remember, I showed you over here, I'm at 4,900. And I said, your goal is to fill this up with your ideal leads. Well, someone who's quick with some math might say, okay, well, if I'm sending out, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 friend requests in a day, pretty quickly, this is going to be filled up and it's going to be maxed out. And if you were thinking that, congratulations, you're smart, you're quick. What do we do about that? Because we don't want to max out your audience at 5,000 people and then you're done. I'm going to show you what we've done in Unipro. I'm going to go over here to a tool. It's under what we call an algorithm booster. And the tool is called Scan Friend Activity. And what this tool does is it allows you to run a scan, and then it goes through all of your friends. So in my case, 4,900 friends, and it finds out which of those friends are active. You can see they're engaging here. So let's take a look at Dave. And I can see that Dave, he's given me a like and 2 comments on my content recently. What this allows you to do, it allows you to find people who are hot, who are engaging a ton. And then it also allows you to find, I'll show you, I'll filter this. It allows you to find people who aren't engaging. And so our strategy here is we're using Unipro to fill up your friends list with your ideal targeted leads. We give those people, those new leads, a chance to see your content. We know Facebook's going to show your content to them. It's how the Facebook algorithm works. If they engage, awesome. I'm going to show you how we nurture them and sell to them in a second. But if they don't engage, they show they're not interested, we get rid of them. And Unipro, I can select these people who haven't been engaging, and then I just tell Unipro, clean them out, get rid of those. We call those dead leads. We need to make room for new good leads. So that's what we should be doing on your profile, filling up your friends list with targeted leads every single day, removing the dead leads. I do want to talk a little bit about Facebook groups. I'm going to go over to Facebook group here. When I open this up, Can you guys just type Facebook group in the comments if you have a Facebook group where you're building up an audience and you're nurturing your leads? Just type Facebook group. And because I'm curious if this is relevant for you. It's awesome building an audience on your personal profile. The nice thing about a Facebook group is there's no limitation. I'm going to go over to one of mine. So this is my group called Audience and Influence. And you can see there's about 15,000 members here. Ron, in the comment section, did anyone say Facebook group? Are people Facebook group owners?
Yep, we got a bunch of Facebook groups.
Cool. So the other place that we want to build up your audience is inside a Facebook group. And if you're already running a Facebook group, I'm sure you're already doing what I'm about to show you. I'm sure that you've already set up your membership questions. And these are the questions that a new potential member has to answer when they request to join your group. So I've got my membership question set up here. And the third membership question, it says, what's your best email address where we can connect you with our private trainings, tools, and resources? Now, I'm going to give you guys, this is a little bit of a side note. This is if you have membership questions set up and you want to get more people answering these questions, here's a little side note. This is a golden trick. First, say required. You notice how I say each of these membership questions is required. In reality, is it required? No, someone could avoid answering one of these questions. But simply by telling people it's required and saying 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3, 3 out of 3, it gets people subconsciously in the mindset of following the rules. You're instantly going to get more responses to your membership questions. That's side note trick number one. I'm going to give you a second side note, a little trick here, is ask questions in an order that's simple to answer at first and then progressively requires more commitment. So as an example, it says, this group's for online business owners. What type of online business do you operate? It's really easy for people to say consultant, coach, whatever it is. Simple question. Next question, we put together an in-depth training on Facebook's 4 new tools for generating free leads. Would you like to see how they work? And then they just click yes or no. It's a checkbox. So easy, right? The third question is asking for their email address. So you can see how we kind of warmed these leads up, giving them something super easy that's about them. We're asking about them. People love talking about themselves. Then we make them a little small, easy to digest offer. And then we ask for the third thing, is something that people are less inclined to give out freely. But after they've already answered number 1 and number 2, it's much easier for them to also answer number 3 and give their email address. So Unipro, it goes out and starts attracting people over into your Facebook group. And as they come into Facebook, or as they request to join your Facebook group, they're presented these 3 questions. They answer these 3 questions. Well, where does this information go? I'm going to show you, actually. I'm going to go over to Unipro, and we've got a tool here that says accept new members. And this is how it works. I'm going to bring up that group, and I'm going to go to manage group. And Unipro is going to go over to all the people here who have already requested to join just in the last couple hours. And this is the way that I use the tool, is I take a look at someone like Derek here, and he hasn't answered the question. So I actually don't decline him. I have Facebook admin assist set up so that Facebook will automatically decline his request and send him a message and say, you didn't answer the questions, therefore you don't get in. If you guys have any questions about how to set that up, just ask in the chat and we can talk about that afterwards. So I'm going to leave Derek there. Come down to this next person. I'll be honest with you, this person is in a region where they're likely not a good lead for me, so I will decline that person. I'm going to come down here, and basically I'm looking for, here's an example, social media management consultant. This is an ideal lead for me. So I'm going to click on YP approve, and Unipro is approving that person. But more than that, Unipro has taken that information, the 3 question answers they provided, and it's putting those answers, those question answers, into a database for me. Now, where is this database? Well, I'll show you. I use Go High Level. I don't know what you guys use for keeping track of all your email addresses and sending out email marketing. Type Go High Level if you guys also use Go High Level. You'll see what Unipro does over here in Go High Level. I'm going to go over to my contacts. And every time Unipro accepts someone into my Facebook group, it's dropping that person over here into my contacts, my Go High Level contacts, and it's giving them a tag telling me, where does this person belong? In this case, it tags all these new Facebook members. So everyone who comes into my Facebook group, it tags them in Go High Level saying they're a new member to the Facebook group. And now Go High Level starts sending an automated email marketing sequence, giving them content from the group, getting them to engage in the group, so that when I post in the group, the Facebook algorithm sees, oh, this person is an engaged member. they definitely want to see this new post. If you guys, I know this is a lot. We're going through a lot of steps here. If you guys have any questions about this, just let me know. I want to do some math with you guys because Unipro, I'm going to give you guys kind of an overview as to how quickly you can expect your audience to grow. Unipro for me adds about 400 new leads to my personal profile every single month, 400 leads. Over inside my group, similar, I get about 400 new group members from Unipro on a monthly basis. Let's do some math together. I'm going to come over here and let's just jot this down. Let me make this nice and big. So we get 400, I'll call this profile leads, and 400 group leads as well. And that's pretty reasonable. If you're following the steps in Unipro, this is something you should be able to expect as well. So you get about 800 leads. What's the value on those leads? Well, I'm going to show you guys some research because this is pretty interesting. I was reading some research that was talking about the average cost per lead using Facebook ads. And you guys, I'll blow this up here so that you can see this and make it really big. Research says that the average cost across all industries, so this is an average, for a Facebook lead is around $19.68. Let's go back and do a little calculation here. If I'm going to use round numbers so that my math is easier, let's say instead of $19.68, it's about $20, right? So 400 times $20 per lead. Well, if my math is correct, that tells me that we got about $8,000 worth of leads every single month without paying for a single ad. Similar over in our group, we're getting 400 group leads every single month without paying for an ad. It would cost us $20 per lead if we were running ads. That's another $8,000 in leads that are being brought over into our audience. So we got a total here. Anyone who's quick addition, we're at $16,000, and that's per month of leads that Unipro is bringing into our profile and our group. Okay, if you guys are seeing the power of this, type leads in the chat if you love to get $16,000 of leads coming into your audience for free every single month. Type leads. Ron, you can stop sharing my screen here. That's the first really important step. If you want more people to see your posts, if you want more people to engage, if you want more leads, if you want to get more clients from Facebook, you got to be growing your audience on your profile and inside your group. Anything that you want to add, Ron? Any questions that you saw coming up in the Facebook chat that we should address before we move on to the second step?
Not that's relevant. I mean, we were talking about, does this remove old friend requests that don't get accepted, which it does, but after a certain amount of time, it won't do that automatically, right? We have to do that in the checklist that we do on a daily basis.
Say that again. Removing
after a certain amount of time where it's like automatic.
Yeah, good question. So imagine you're sending out all these friend requests. A percentage of them, we find somewhere between about 20 and 50% get accepted. Awesome. Those are new leads. The others don't get accepted. And you can imagine over time, you could end up with thousands of unaccepted friend requests. What does that tell Facebook about you? Not good, right? That's Facebook saying, wow, Dave's sending out thousands of friend requests. No one wants to be his friend. Facebook's not going to send me more followers if that's the case. So Unipro automatically goes out and it unsends those friend requests. So that you have a clean slate, no red flags on Facebook's side. Good question.
And then can I put current followers on a schedule to send them messages is another question.
Can you put current followers on a schedule? Are they talking about, you think maybe email marketing perhaps?
Probably like where, each day it'll send out messages on a schedule like that you set to followers.
Great question. You beat me to the punch. We're going to talk about that in just a second. How to strike up messenger conversations with not only your new leads, but also your best engaged leads to actually convert them. We're going to get there in just a second. Good question. Cool. Anything else? We've
got some other ones, but do you want to keep going and we'll come back to them, or you want to answer it?
If there's anything that's relevant to what we just discussed, otherwise we can do a Q&A at the end.
So how many friend requests can you send before Facebook puts you in Facebook jail? By the way, new friend requests will end up in message requests, which most of the people ignore. Not friend requests, but messages. If you send messages to people that haven't accepted your friend requests, but yes. How many do you think and that's you'll probably talk about it, but go ahead if you got that.
Well, good question. First off, whoever said that, it's awesome that you're doing your research and understanding how Facebook works. So everyone can send 10 friend requests is where we start people at when they're using Unipro, and that's very safe through Unipro. And then over time, we build that up. The maximum we'd ever send is 50 in a day. So somewhere between 10 and 50. And then as Ron mentioned, we never want to send a cold DM, a message to someone who's not our friend. Like whoever commented mentioned, that's going right into their message request folder. They'll likely never see it. They'll likely not respond. And Facebook is now changing rules that's going to allow how many messages you send to someone without them responding. If someone doesn't respond, Facebook's going to turn off your ability to keep on sending the messages. We don't have to worry about that in Unipro. We never send out cold DMs. Again, we're going to get into DMs in just a second. I'm going to show you the strategy we use so we don't have to worry about that. Love that you're thinking about that already. Let's dive in. We looked at so far building your audience through your profile, through your group. Super important. The second stage is to actually nurture those leads. We don't just want you to have a big audience. We want you to have an audience of leads who are actively being nurtured. Can you type nurture my leads? Nurture my leads if you agree. You understand that nurturing those leads is ultra important. Nurture my leads. There's two ways that we nurture leads. We do it through your content and we do it through Messenger. So we're going to talk about Messenger right now. I'm going to show you, Ron, if you could share my screen again. Are you able to see my screen here?
Yep.
When people do content, this is typically what I see from business owners who are posting on Facebook. And Chris, if Chris happens to see this, or if anyone knows Chris, I'm not picking on Chris by any means. Most people's content looks like this. So Chris, he's some sort of business coach here. Let's take a look at his content. So he is advertising here about some sort of conference, sales conference. That's one post. Then here he's talking about a sales collective. I think this is a business coaching program. So he talked about a conference, then a business coaching program, then business coaching program again. Then here he's advertising for a job. Then he's got some family photos here, some family photos. Then he's got this video that's talking about why men can't ever win. I don't know what that's about. Then he's got, it looks like some sort of joke about sales influencers. Then I don't know what that is. Family photo, something, I don't know, some sort of joke here. As I scroll through this, you can see a pattern. Disjointed content, right? This post is about this. This post is about this. Imagine if you're posting like that, how your audience feels. Every time Facebook shows one of your pieces of content to your audience, you're making your audience work. They have to take a look at that post and figure out, what is this post about? Is this relevant to me? Am I going to benefit from reading this? And eventually they just tune out. And as they tune out, Facebook realizes you're not getting any engagement. We're going to stop showing your post to as many people. How do we avoid this? I'm going to show you our strategy. Over here in Unipro, inside of Unipro, we have a content calendar. And your content calendar basically allows you to plan out your content for anywhere that you post content. So for me, I have three main places I post content. I post here. You can see this piece of content says P. That's on my personal profile. I also have content A and I. That's in my audience and influence group. So profile, group. And then you'll see I have content that goes to my email list. Those are the three places I post. Maybe you post somewhere else as well. The goal with a content calendar is to move your leads in a specific direction, not to have disjointed content. It's to have content that's thematic and moving people in a certain direction. Well, I'll show you an example here. For me, for this month, as we speak, so this is July 2024, my content for this month is all about nurturing leads on Facebook. All of these pieces of content are going to be talking around that subject. They're going to get my leads to acknowledge that the content that Dave's putting out, it's helpful. They're going to see this content, this messaging over and over and over again. And it's all moving them towards, I'll show you where it's moving people. It's moving people towards this. On August 6th, I'm going to be doing a live training. And this is my conversion mechanism. This is where I want all my leads funneled to so that I can make them an offer. Compare this to how most people do their content. Most people are just randomly posting stuff, sort of finger crossed, hoping that it gets some engagement so that they can make some sales. I'm going to ask you guys a very vulnerable question. Who here would say that you're posting random content on Facebook? Just type random in the chat. I'm going to ask you to be vulnerable. If you really analyze your content, is it more random than it is strategic? Just type random. And I'll admit, I used to be very random as well. I would wake up in the morning and think, I got to post something. So I'm just going to randomly post some idea that I had. And the problem with that is, again, it's disjointed. It's not funneling your leads towards a specific conversion event. Ron, just before I show what's next, what do you see? Was anyone brave enough to say that they got random content?
Random. Yep.
Yeah. And that is the case for most people. So our first step when it comes to nurturing your leads through your content is to stop being random, start being strategic, using a theme and moving people towards a specific event where you can convert them. If you guys have questions about this, again, leave it in the chat. That's the first step. Second thing that I want to show you is, let me go over to this post here. Imagine you want to move people towards a specific post, or you post something that's got really high value and you know it's going to nurture your leads very well. How do you make sure that the right leads actually see that post? Yes, you can rely on Facebook's algorithm. And if you've been adding people to your audience and if you've been engaging with those leads, there's a chance they're going to see that content. How do you make sure they see it? I'm going to show you our strategy. This is a live training that I did inside my Facebook group with my wife here. It's called the pre-sales process, the messenger script that books sales calls in 6 minutes or less. I know that I have a bunch of leads in my audience who would be very well nurtured by this piece of content. I don't want to leave it to chance. I want to make sure they see it. How do I do that? Well, I'm going to scroll down here and let's take a look at the comments on this post. You notice anything? A lot of engagement on this post, right? Why is that? Well, I made sure that my content is moving people in a direction. It's thematic, but also I'm going to show you the trick that I use. There's a lot of engagement here. Let's get down to it. One of the tools that's built inside of Unipro allows you to take leads who have shown interest in a specific topic and do this. What I did was I used Unipro to create a list of everyone who's shown interest in any of the posts that I was posting around this topic. So remember, for an entire month, I'm posting content all about a specific topic. Anyone who engages on those posts is figuratively raising their hand saying, oh, cool, I'm interested. Well, guess what? By the end of the month, you've got tons of people who've engaged on these posts all around one topic. All these people saying, I want more, I'm interested, this helps me. And now when you deliver huge value around a topic that they've already said, I want to know more about, Unipro takes all those people who engaged on all those pieces of content and tags them on your most important piece. So you can see here, this says, just in case you missed downloading the Facebook compliance sales script, here you go. These are all people who told me, I want help closing more sales on Facebook. Here's another one. Just in case you still didn't get the call booking script, I can tag hundreds and hundreds of people all through Unipro, all based on their activity on Facebook. This is not cold tagging. This is taking people who said, I'm interested, and now I'm reminding them, here you go, here's more value. I want your wheels to start turning. What's a theme or a topic your audience is super interested in? If you were to create a bunch of posts, 5, 6, 10 posts around that theme, and then had a final post that was your conversion mechanism, this is where you're going to really convert those leads. How powerful would it be if you took everyone who had engaged across all those posts and then made sure they saw that last post? I'm going to scroll back up here. Again, if you have any questions about this, just let me know. But I want to show you the result. Because I strategically created a bunch of content using the content calendar and then tagged all those leads on this conversion mechanism, this live training. Let's take a look at the insights. You'll see that this one single live training, a 1-hour training that Lucy, my wife, and I, we put on, we had almost 3,000 people watch that training. And now from a conversion standpoint, you can see how that could easily turn into dozens, maybe even hundreds of paying clients. At least if you're booking calls, this at least could turn into 100 calls booked. If you guys are seeing the power of this, just type power in the chat. If you see how building strategic content and then making sure your leads see your the final most powerful lead converting piece of content by tagging those strategic leads on that piece of content. If you can see how powerful that is, just type power. I want to show you one more thing. And then Ron, if there's any questions coming up about content for nurturing, we can cover that as well. I'm going to go back over to my personal profile because I want to show you one more trick that Unipro does to nurture your leads through your content. As we just saw, Unipro takes targeted leads and it tags them on your content. The second thing that Unipro does is it engages those leads who engage with you. I'm going to show you an example here. Here's a post I made on my personal profile. It says, if you missed, in case you missed this, Facebook just released 4 new lead gen features all for free on Facebook. Anyone want to test these? And you can see here tons of comments. Let me open up the comments here. And you can see all these people are saying, yes, I want to test it. Yes, I want to test it. Yes, I want to test it. So when you start using Unipro, more people are going to see your content. You're going to have more leads coming into your audience. Facebook's going to start sending you more followers. When you start posting juicy posts like this, you're going to get a lot of leads saying, yes, I want that. Now what we want to do is train your audience that when they engage on your content, good things happen. Here's how Unipro does this. Every time someone comments on my post, I've got Unipro set up that it will do 3 things for me. First, it will like the post. So Heidi here, she says, yes, I want this thing. Unipro likes Heidi's comment. Why do we do that? When Unipro likes Heidi's comment for me, Heidi gets a notification in Facebook. That puts my face in front of Heidi. I'm building up some rapport with her. Second thing Unipro does, it replies to her comment. Of course, Heidi, did you see the details I just sent you in Messenger? It tags Heidi on this comment reply. Heidi gets another notification on Facebook. Heidi's reminded that Dave had something that she wanted, building up this relationship. And then third, as noted here, it says, did you see the details I sent you in Messenger? Let's actually open up Messenger and let's go take a look at the conversation here. You'll see here, Heidi and I have been in conversation a number of times. Here she asked for a training. Unipro sent over the training to her. She comes back and she says, thanks, Dave. So think about how powerful this is. Unipro liked her comment. Heidi got a notification. It replied to her comment. She got a notification. It sent her a DM over in Messenger for something she asked for and invited her to come and join my Facebook group. She says, thanks, Dave. She went and joined my group, answered my membership questions. Now she's inside the Facebook group watching the training that is one of these conversion mechanism posts that's going to make her an offer. And this is all automated. I'll show you over here, and then we can stop for some Q&A. I'm going to show you over here. We've got these content tools. The first one we looked at, tagging people, is called Tag for Attention. You put in the post you want to tag people in. You tell Unipro which leads you want to tag on that post. Unipro does the work for you. The second one we just looked at, engaging people on your post, is called Prospect by Post. Similar, you put in the post you want to prospect from. I showed you this example right here. You put in your post, you tell Unipro how to reply to your comments, the comments that come in. You tell Unipro what messages you want to send in Messenger, and then you click start. And Unipro goes to work and it does all the comment replies, all the liking, all the DMing for you. Ron, I know that was a mouthful there. If you want to stop sharing screen for me, and then if you have anything you want to add or if any questions came up, let's go through those.
Yeah. So, and I'm not sure if Wayne is mixing up Facebook page and Facebook profile, but he's basically saying, how does the algorithm work when I use my Facebook page for both my personal and business? I'm assuming he's using his Facebook profile for both personal and business. And I know that you do a lot of, I have a great question around this, around content mix between personal and like business stuff, because I think it's valuable to have that personal stuff as well. So, and I know you do it with like pictures of your daughter and you going out on hikes and that kind of stuff. So I'd love to hear your take on that.
Yeah, Ron, you know the answer and you alluded to it already. Awesome. If you're using it for personal and for business, that's great. That's what you should be doing. My rule of thumb goes like this. About 3/4 of your posts should be somewhat business related and about 1/4 of your posts should be personal. And the reason being is, Wayne, your audience wants to know that you're a real person. If you're just always hammering home business post after business post, no one gets to know you. And Facebook, it's a networking platform. People do want to get to know you. So of course, do use it personally as well. Good question. One last thing about that. If some people will ask, well, if I start posting things on my personal profile and it's like really private and I don't want people to see it, what do I do about that? For me, I only use my profile for business. So even though I do post personal posts, they're the type of posts that I'm okay with anyone seeing. I make them public. Anyone on Facebook can see them. I'm completely fine with it. If you were to post something and it was maybe only for a handful of your family members, it was a little bit more private, then you can change the privacy settings on that one individual post, and you can restrict that one post so that only the people you choose can actually see that post. For me, though, I just post things that I'm happy with anyone seeing. Good question.
Let's see. So Claudia is asking if, just to confirm, GHL has a Facebook. She's asking about GHL. So let's see. Is the new strategy personal page and then business? That's always been kind of the strategies. Personal page, personal. Sorry, I'm mixed up now. Profile for organic, and then ads for page for ads. Right.
Nailed it. Exactly. For personal profile and group, that's organic. Business page for paid. Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
That I'm interested in asking you. So what about your mix of like reels? Because I know you do reels, but I think you do like one a week. Is there like a strategy behind that? Because I feel like that's a great way to also add followers.
Yeah. So I really am a big believer in doing what Facebook wants, and Facebook has been pushing Reels really hard for about a year, which makes sense, right? A lot of their competition is coming from short form video content. So I do Reels because I know that Facebook gives a broader audience to your Reels. So here's the strategy with a Reel. Post a Reel knowing that some people in your existing audience are going to see it, but Facebook is going to show that to people outside of your audience. When they see that Reel, assuming that they like that Reel, they're going to follow you. And then they'll see posts like the one that I just showed you, the 2-step post where I said, hey, I've got this free thing. Do you want it? My followers are likely going to see that. They comment on that. Then Unipro automatically follows up with them, sends them a DM that invites them to come join my group. And so you can see how powerful this is. Reel expands my network. 2-step posts allows me to get more intimate into conversation with someone and then moves them over to my Facebook group. Then they give me their email address. Unipro picks that up and puts it into Go High Level. And now I've got a new person on my email list. So it all works in one beautiful ecosystem.
And you do like one a week, and is it kind of on that same theme, whatever your theme is that week?
Yeah, 100%.
Sorry. Okay, yep. Awesome. Good to know. That's my question for you.
Yeah, good question. Good question. That's nurturing through your content. Now, I said there's 2 ways to nurture. The second way is over through Messenger, and I do want to show you guys how to do that as well. So, Ron, if you could share my screen again, I'm going to show you guys something that I do in Messenger on a daily basis. You can imagine, remember I said that there's 400 leads who are coming into my personal profile. So when I come back over here, let's go to my profile. All these leads who are coming into your personal profile, the Facebook algorithm will see that you guys just recently became friends. And when you get a new friend, Facebook's going to show your content to that new friend for the first couple of weeks. And it's going to measure, does that friend show interest? And if that friend shows interest, it could be by liking, commenting, or simply just stopping and reading one of your posts. Then Facebook's going to show your content to that person more and more. And that's fantastic. When I go down here, like I said, about 400 new friends or leads are coming to my audience every single month. And I just let Facebook do its thing. I know they're going to see my content. But there's an awesome trick you can do to ensure that your new friends are going to see your content for a longer window. Like I said, it's between 1 to 3 weeks where Facebook's going to be sharing your content if you don't do this trick. If you do this trick that I'm about to show you, Facebook's going to see that you and your new friend are engaging, and it's going to elongate that window so that they see more of your content, giving them more of an opportunity to engage with you. Here's your trick. Every single new friend that comes into your audience, you need to start up a messenger conversation with them. When you start a messenger conversation with a new friend, Facebook sees that messenger conversation, it sees it as another point of engagement. So you became friends. That's a good check in Facebook's book. Now you sent a messenger conversation, which goes directly into their messenger inbox, not their message request folder, because you're already friends. This is another checkbox for Facebook. Then if that person responds to you, that's another checkbox for Facebook. If those 3 things happen, you're golden. That new lead is going to see so much of your content. So how do you do this? I'm going to show you the strategy we use. Over in Unipro, I'm going to go down to our message hub, and I'm going to go to send bulk messages. You can send all these messages in different ways to different groups of people. One of the ways is by sending messages to your new leads. So I'm going to tell Unipro, go find all my new leads from the past 24 hours. And I've got a template, a message template that I send to all of my new leads, all of my new friends. It's called my new friend welcome message. If we become friends, anyone who's watching this, if we become friends on Facebook, within about 24 hours, you're going to get this message from me. It's going to say, great to connect with you here. And then it's going to insert your first name. Hope you're having a good day so far. Or I have a different variation, and Unipro rotates between these. It'll say, hey, first name, nice to connect with you here. Enjoy your day. So you're going to create that message list. why do I send that particular message? I want that message to be something that it has a high likelihood of getting a response. So it's just a nice message. It's nothing at all salesy. I'm not asking them to join my group. I'm not telling them to go check out a post. I'm not asking for anything. I'm just being kind. I'm just being friendly. And so you can see Unipro found there's 17 new leads who came into my audience in the last 24 hours. And now I could go ahead and push play, and Unipro is going to go through and start sending out those messages to those new leads. We can actually I'll go over to my messenger list here. And you can see these people here who are labeled as welcome. These are all people who are new to my friends list, and Unipro sent them that nice welcome message. Let's take a look at Michael. You can see Michael got great to connect with you here. Michael, hope you're having a good day. This was just sent 3 hours ago. So now I've got this extra connection point, this engagement with Michael. Chances are he's going to come back. And what I find most people do is they'll give me a heart. Some people will give me a thumbs up. Some people will say, hey, great connecting with you as well. Let's take a look. Here's a very common one. Chris, he got this. Hey, Chris, nice to connect with you here. Enjoy your day. Chris comes back. Thanks, my friend. You too. Here's what I do next. Whenever someone responds, I give them a heart. And what that does is that now shows up in their messenger as a notification that they see that I responded. Facebook loves this. It sees that we've got a conversation going. This person, Chris, he's going to see all my posts. And so now I just need to create a piece of content that grabs his attention. And I've got him. I've got a new lead. So hopefully you guys are seeing how all these pieces come together. You can stop sharing there, Ron. I'm going to go through just a quick little recap of where we've been so far. And then I do want to talk about actually making sales. So we talked about expanding your audience. About 400 new leads can easily come into your profile on a monthly basis. Same with your Facebook group. If you're doing that through Facebook ads, you'd probably be looking at somewhere around $16,000 of ad spend. You can completely eliminate that. Then once those leads are coming to your audience, you're sending them messages in Messenger, looking for some engagement. You're creating strategic content on your profile so that when they see your content and you know Facebook's going to show it to them, they're likely to engage. When they engage, I use Unipro to automatically re-engage and start a messenger conversation that moves them over into my Facebook group. And once they're in the Facebook group, then you can use a tool like Tag for Attention to tag all those leads on your best pieces of content that's really going to nurture them. And you can see how we've got this snowball, a lot of momentum working in your favor here. In addition to all this, they've been added to your email list over in Go High Level, and now they're getting email marketing as well. So very quickly, you can take a cold lead and really start to nurture this lead, preparing them to make a purchase, which is the third step. We're going to be talking about this next is how do you actually make sales from all this? Ron, anything you want to add before we dive into the selling piece?
There's a question about, I have a question about, what do you think about adding an additional personal profile? They're asking whether, if you want to have one for business, one for personal. I know now you can have like 4 profiles or something like that. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, great question. So to fill everyone in here, just over the last maybe 6 months or so, Facebook opened up a new opportunity where through your personal profile, you can add what's called additional profiles. So it's still personal in nature, but your additional profiles, they don't have to be your name. They don't have to, you can make them whatever you want. Really, the intention is for creators who, for example, would have a personal Facebook account, but then they would have their creator sort of profile. What I recommend is if you're going to do that, have multiple profiles, keep your main profile for business and your additional profile is this sort of separate, more private one. The reason why I say that is because you've probably been running your main profile probably for years. It's got a whole lot more power than any additional profile you could ever create. So you don't want to lose the power of this main profile and basically start from scratch. So instead, start from scratch from a personal level and just have maybe your family and friends as friends on that one and use that for personal nature. Great question.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay, let's talk about making the sale because you got all these leads coming in. You're nurturing those leads. How do you actually close them? Well, I'm going to show you guys. Ron, if you want to screen share here again, I'm going to show you an example of a messenger conversation that I got into. So Ron, you can see my screen here.
Yep.
So here's an example of messenger conversation. This guy says, hey brother, hope you had a good weekend or great festive period. And then he asked me about if I would want to know something about DMs. I don't respond. He comes back. Hey, I got this free challenge. I don't respond. He comes back. Hey, I think you missed this. Maybe next month we're doing 2 challenges. On and on. Another message. Finally, I respond to him and just said, hey man, like I'm not interested. Has anyone ever had this happen to you where you get someone who's just pounding you with messages and it's so clearly a sales message? Just type me in the comment section if this has ever happened to you. How do you feel? How do you feel? Ron, you probably get this all the time. How do you feel when someone hits you up with repeated sales messages like this?
Sometimes I just want to see how far they'll go, like kind of play around with them. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I do kind of enjoy how bad it is though, just seeing how bad these techniques are. But yeah, it's annoying.
The encouraging thing, Ron, as you alluded to there, is this is our competition. So it
Yeah.
actually excites me because I'm like, if this is what they're doing, man, my job is easy. We want to avoid this. Like, there's no way I'm going to take this guy seriously after he hit me up with like 8 sales messages in a row. And I imagine you guys feel the same. How do we avoid this? I'm going to show you the strategy for actually getting to real sales conversations and real closes. Let me show you an example here. I'm going to go over into my audience and influence group. You can do this on any post. So I'm going to go and find a post where I got some engagement. Here's an example. This is talking about 4 new Facebook tools that get leads. Okay. So I'm going to get the link for this post and I'm going to go over to Unipro and I'm going to go into contact lists. And one of the really powerful things that Unipro allows you to do is to segment your audience based on where have they been engaging. So let me show you an example. I'm going to create a list of everyone who's engaged on this particular post. So I'm going to put in the post link and I'm going to call this commented on 4 features. 4 features. It was a live training. And then I'm going to tell Unipro, I only want the people who commented on that post. What Unipro is doing now is it's going out and it's looking at that post and it's finding all the leads who commented on that live training. And as it's doing this, you can see it's found 16 leads. It's going to go and find all the leads here and put them on a list. And I'll show you what we do with them in just a second here. The power of this is we want to avoid cold messages like this. Clearly, this guy doesn't know anything about me. Clearly, he's just blasting this to everyone. I asked him, I was like, why do you keep hitting me up? And he was honest. He said, honestly, VA just goes through my list of friends and just messages everyone. We never want to do that. We want to be ultra targeted with our messages so that we're not turning off your leads. So what we're going to do is we're going to allow Unipro to find people and segment them based on what they've shown interested in. So in this case, everyone who watched this live training of mine talking about getting leads on Facebook, I know they're interested in getting leads on Facebook. I know they probably have an online business. I know they're nurtured because they're already in my Facebook group, and I know they're nurtured because they're commenting on my post. So imagine this is a pretty segmented list that Unipro is building, and now it's got about 160 leads. We'll give it a second here. I'm going to go over to my notes here because I want to show you something. This is what I'm going to send to those people. I want to send them a message saying, hey, first name, hey, Ron, just saw you at the lead gen training. So this is really important. The first part of the message reminds the lead where we connected. And so this is basically telling them saying, hey, you commented on my training. You started this conversation. I'm not cold sales pitching you. You're the one that was coming after me. That's the whole purpose of this first sentence. The next sentence, I want to ask a very gentle question that allows me to get into a real conversation with this person. Hey, first name, just saw you at the lead gen training. Has Facebook been delivering decent leads to you recently? Easy question to answer, right? The response I'll get from this, a lot of people will come back and they'll say, no, like the Facebook algorithm's killing me. Or they'll say, no, it used to be way better. Or they'll say, I'm pretty new to Facebook marketing. Almost everyone who responds to this question is going to be admitting that things aren't working the way they want them to work. And this is a gold mine for me because it's saying, hey, Dave, I need your help. Let me show you how to actually do this in Unipro. Let's go back. Unipro created the list of everyone who engaged on that post. Let's scroll down. These are all golden nurtured leads, 216 leads. I'm going to create that list. And so Unipro has now put 216 leads onto this list. And now I'm going to go and send them a message. I'll go over to broadcast or send a bulk message. I'm going to use my contact list. And what I want to do here is, let me just refresh this so I can pull up my most recent contact list. What I want to do is pick my list. Sorry, I'm not sure why that one's not showing up right now. I have a test build of Unipro. I was just telling Ron before we started running this, I've got a special test build of Unipro with a bunch of new features in. So it's possible this one is disabled. What happens here is all those lists that you create. Let me go back to my contact list. Oh, it just showed up there. It just took a second. Here it is right here. Comment on 4 features live. So there's that list, 216 leads who commented on that post. And then I'm going to send them a message. There's the message that I'm going to send them. Hey, first name, and Unipro will insert their first name and then ask them the question. Create that message list. Here it is right here, 216 leads, all ready to go. And I click on play and Unipro will start sending out those messages over in Messenger. Think about the difference. Compare this, cold DMs in Messenger that actually turn leads off versus what we just set up here. Warmed leads, interested in something specific, getting a very specific message that corresponds to what they did in Facebook. And this is just one example. You can do this from a post. You can do it from a live training. You can segment people who belong to a certain group. You could segment people based on when they joined a group. You could grab everyone who joined your group in the last 2 weeks, put them onto a list. You could get people who voted on your poll. You get people who are saying they're going to your event, and create all these segmented lists so that you can send messages based on what they did in Messenger. Ron, do you want to stop sharing screen there? Any questions come in about this? Anything that you want to add to this?
No, but it's a great way to just, like I said, time. It's all about time, right? It's all about saving time. And Unipro is, I've tried a lot of tools out there and nothing does it like Unipro, and just makes everything just so much easier and faster. It would take you, just imagine copying and pasting those 200 messages. I mean, it would be a nightmare. So yeah, that's what I would add for sure.
Let's do a little bit of math because I want to walk you guys through how does this actually work for selling. So Ron, if you don't mind sharing my screen there one more time. As we've just done so many reps, like literally thousands of reps with this system, here's the numbers that we found: 5, 50, 45. Remember this. This is gold. On Facebook, about 5% of the leads who you engage with, like I just showed, about 5%, they're ready to buy right now. If you make them an offer that's relevant to their business or their life, they're likely to buy. About 50% of people, they're not ready to buy right now, but they are buyers and they will buy. They're interested in a solution. They will buy at some point. They just need some more nurturing. And about 45% of people, they're not really buyers. Maybe they just hang out on Facebook just for kicks. Maybe they're there for personal reasons and just somehow got mixed into what you were doing. They're not buyers. So let's do some math here. Let's say 5%. We just had 216 leads times 5% of those are buyers right now. So I'm going to round this down to 200. This tells me there are 10 people in that list of 216. They're ready to buy. If I just reach out and start this conversation, I can make a sale. Let's do 216 times 50% equals, I can do this math on the spot. I got 108 people on that list. They're not going to buy if I'm an offer today, but me reaching out and having a little bit of a conversation is nurturing them one step closer until they become that 5%. Can you guys do me a favor? Everyone who's here watching this live or a replay, in the chat, can you let me know what's the value of your main offer? Whatever it is that you guys are offering. Maybe you're selling coaching, maybe you're selling a course. Let me know what's the value of your main offer. Ron, I don't know if you see anything coming in there, or Ron, maybe you might know just from your audience, talking to your audience, what would be like a typical offer value? What do you think?
Let's say 5,000.
5,000 is pretty common. So you do some quick math here. I'm going to say right off the bat, if I send out that DM to 216 leads, I'm going to get 5% of people who are keenly interested. That's going to turn into 10 sales at $5,000. So I've got 50K in sales. I wish it was 509, 50K in sales sitting there just waiting to be had. The reason why this doesn't happen is because very few entrepreneurs are going to the work of segmenting their list and reaching out to people based on what those leads are doing on Facebook. Most business owners, they're doing one of two things. Either they're like that guy who I showed you that Messenger conversation, they're just blasting out sales messages, turning off their leads, or more commonly, business owners just sit back. And it's like they think that their leads are going to reach out to them and say, can I buy? And they're missing out on these sales. Doing some math here, if I take that and times it by 50,000, 108 times 5,000, we've got over 500K in future sales waiting to be had as long as you do your nurturing. Segment your audience, nurture your audience. This is sitting here in my Facebook audience right now. It's just up to me to nurture those leads and make the sale. I'm going to stop sharing screen, or Ron, if you can stop sharing screen, because at this point, hopefully you guys are getting excited about this. There's 3 things you need to be doing if you really want Facebook to build your business. Number 1, grow your audience on your profile and in your group. Number 2, nurture your leads through your content and through Messenger. And then number 3, make offers to those leads. You've got so much money sitting in your Facebook audience right now. Don't spam them. Look at what they're doing on Facebook and send them out an appropriate message. And either you're going to make the sale, or you're going to nurture a lead a little bit further, or you're going to find someone who says they're 45%, they're part of that 45% category. They say, no, this isn't for me. I'm not interested in that. Cool. Guess what's going to happen? I never worry about that because I know what's going to happen. They're going to stop engaging on my content. Unipro is going to see that they don't engage anymore, and it's going to remove them from my audience and make room for a new lead. There's nothing to worry about. Getting to a no is actually an awesome thing. We try and get to no's as quickly as possible so we can free up spots in our audience for better leads. Those are the 3 steps that we use: build your audience, nurture your leads, and then make those offers when people are ready. If you guys got some value from this, if you've seen even one thing that you could apply to your business to help grow on Facebook, just type value in the comment section. And then you're probably thinking, or hopefully you're thinking at this point, like, this is cool. I like the system. Hopefully you've seen a ton of value. Hopefully you commented value. And you're wondering, well, how do you get involved? What do you do with Unipro? I've got some steps for you here. Ron, if you can share my screen one more time. If you've watched this and you see the value that Unipro has and you've seen value in this strategy, here's what I'd like you to do. Type in your web browser, go to unipro.com and then /Ron. And we're going to go over here and I'm going to show you something together. I'm going to open that link up, unipro.com/Ron. It's going to take you over this page here. And this is going to tell you all about Unipro. You can watch the demo. There's a full demo that shows all the features, all the strategies that Unipro has to offer right here. You can read about Unipro. You can read about how it works. You can read about who it's for. You can read about the results that you can expect. You can take a look at all the bonuses that come with Unipro. And then you might be thinking, okay, this is a no-brainer, Dave. Like, I'm sold. I want to use automation, Unipro's automation, to build my audience. I want to nurture my audience way better. I know I'm leaving money on the table. And maybe you're seeing, hey, you got to segment your audience so that you can make the right offers at the right time and make sales. If that's you, then I encourage you to click on the Join Now button. Now, I'm going to address the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is, well, how much does it cost to use Unipro? And there's 2 different options. You can see right here, there is an annual option. If you want to pay annually, you can get Unipro. It works out to $142 on a monthly basis. And Dave, you might be saying, Dave, like, this is a no-brainer. We looked at how Unipro brings in $16,000 worth of leads every single month. So to pay $142, no-brainer. Maybe that's you. If that's you, go join. Awesome. Can't wait to start working with you. The other option is you can get Unipro on a monthly basis for $197 a month. Now, I want to show you what's included here, and then I'm going to tell you something special that Ron has arranged for you guys to get as well. When you sign up for Unipro, whether you're on the monthly basis or an annual basis, here's what you get. Unlimited usage of the Unipro software. There's no limits. You can get as many leads as you want. You can send as many messages as you want. You can create as many lists as you want. You can manage as many Facebook groups as you want. You can do as much as you want using Unipro. You also get lifetime access to our entire strategy. I covered the high-level highlights of our strategy. You get so much in-depth strategy, how to build out your content calendar, what type of posts to be making, how to set up your Facebook group, how to move leads around so that they're nurtured more quickly. All that's included as well. In addition to that, you get unlimited support and coaching. We have an amazing Unipro Facebook group for our members only, where we have weekly coaching calls going into the strategy and all the nuances as Facebook makes changes. You get unlimited support and coaching. Plus, you get some really cool gifts. One of the gifts we talked about today is Go High Level. We personally, my wife and I, we take all of our leads that Unipro generates and move those over into High Level so that we can send to our email list. And we've just seen this. It's just so effective. We've seen it over and over again in our business. So very recently, actually, we decided that all Unipro users, they also get a free Go High Level account. I'm just curious if anyone here uses Go High Level. If you do use Go High Level, type Go High Level in the chat. It lets me know you probably already know the power of Go High Level. In addition to that, you get 4 other bonuses, and you can learn all about those bonuses back on the Unipro page that we looked at just a second ago. But there is one thing that I mentioned that Ron and I have arranged for you guys specifically. Let me just minimize this screen here. For you guys, for today, because Ron, you were actually one of our very first Unipro users. We launched the software 2.5 years ago, and I believe you joined in our first month.
Yeah.
So for you guys, because you're part of Ron's audience, we love Ron. He's an awesome client. We love working together. Here's what we've arranged for you guys today. If you decide to join us in Unipro, get everything that we talked about today, and you join through the annual membership plan. Now that annual plan, let me go back over to Unipro. The annual plan, it already saves you 28% off the regular price. So you can see if you have this little toggle selected here, pay annually, you save 28%. In addition to that, you guys are going to get an extra 3 months of Unipro 100% for free. And this is just for Ron, for your audience right now. And this is for today only. So if you guys sign up today, you join Unipro through that link, unipro.com/Ron. Here's the link one more time. Ron, maybe, I don't know if you're able to put that in the chat, but here's the link for everyone. If you want to get that 3 months free, unipro.com/Ron. And when you join that annual membership, you're going to get 3 additional months. That's a $591 extra value on top of everything you get through Unipro. So that's how you guys can join. Ron, anything you want to add? Maybe share any of your experience beyond what we shared today, or anything that you want to tell your audience as they're making this decision?
I mean, this is ridiculous. Like, I honestly didn't know he was going to do this, but this is like,
I didn't tell you.
This is an insane offer, y'all. It really is. Like there's 2 tools. There's 3 tools that I use religiously. That's High Level, Unipro, and now School with my community. So like, it's just part of my tool set. Like, and this is an incredible. This is like as good as the deal when I bought it, which was grandfathered into the old pricing. So I have a question for you.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
If they get because this might be a question that would come up for them. If they get the annual at this, does it repeat next year? The same price?
The annual, here's how it works is we give you 3 months for free right now on your subscription. And then 15 months from now, when your annual subscription renews, you're always locked in at the price you pay today. So the annual price, it works out to $142.01, which is $16.97 for the whole year. You're going to be locked in at that price 15 months from now.
Got it.
Even that, as the price goes up, that'll never affect you.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
awesome.
Great question. Ron, I want to touch on that. You said it was interesting. You said you have these 3 tools that you use. Same. We use so many different tools, all these little Facebook tools. And then we used MailChimp working and ClickFunnels working, and all these different things. And we just thought, what a mess. Now, I'm not a school user. So literally, I use 2 tools, Unipro and Go High Level, which is why we bundled them together. Just because it's what we use to do millions of dollars every year in sales directly through Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have High Level yet and you wanted to get High Level, I mean, basically you're paying less than $50 extra for Unipro, which is insane. And like, I don't know, like, I got to tell you, like, Unipro is not just the value of I mean, it's a great piece of software, no doubt. But the bigger value is getting to learn content. I mean, Facebook marketing from Dave. Like, I really, honestly, I call him the GOAT because I really do think you're one of the best Facebook organic marketers out there. So that alone is, I mean, you're getting like a $10,000 coaching program from, buying an awesome piece of software. I mean, I'm so surprised by this deal. It's insane. Thanks for doing this for my audience. That's great.
Yeah, my pleasure. And in terms of the training, I love coaching. Lucy and I, my wife and I, like I mentioned, we used to run a business coaching business, and we sold it 3 years ago. And we actually had a non-compete. So we had to retire from business coaching. And then we launched Unipro, and it's been neat because it's been a little outlet for me. I love sharing what I learn and what's working well. And so Unipro's allowed me to continue sharing what I'm learning without being a business coach again. So yeah, anyone who joins Unipro, you guys are in for a treat in terms of the strategies you get along with the tools.
Yeah. I mean, just look at Dave's profile and tell me that he doesn't know what he's doing there. I mean, that one post, how many comments were on that one post that you kept scrolling and scrolling? Like 900,
Yeah, we
1,000?
get we get a lot. And you might look at this and think, well, Dave, I don't get any. Maybe I get 5 comments when I post, or I get a handful of likes. Me too. That's where I started. And it wasn't that long ago. I was in that boat probably about 4 or 5 years ago. I didn't get any engagement on Facebook. Yes, I used Facebook to grow my businesses, but I wasn't getting these viral posts. And I started learning, really started studying the Facebook algorithm and everything that we just talked about today, and just practiced and practiced and practiced, and then built it into Unipro. And it's just been this hockey stick growth ever since. And so if you're sitting there and you're thinking, I'm just starting out, is this for me? I encourage you, do not wait. I wish 5 years ago I knew and was doing what I'm doing now, because it would have made things so much easier. So yeah, we'd be really excited to work with you. Ron, thanks for allowing me to come and share with your audience here. Guys, if you got value, again, just type in value. And if you do have any questions, Ron, I've got 10 more minutes scheduled if there's any questions that came up. Otherwise, yeah, go for it.
So George is asking anything for the monthly plan. I'm assuming he's all the bonuses are still included, right?
Yep. Everything is included for monthly and annual, except for the 3 additional months. That's for annuals only. Good question, George.
Yeah. What are the best practices for my VA? This is a good one, because tell them about the checklist. So what are the best practices for my VA to be able to use? It's so easy. It's like Dave gives you a step-by-step checklist. It's ridiculous.
Ron, am I still sharing screen here?
Yep.
So I'll show you guys. First off, if you have a VA and you join Unipro, invite your VA to join our Facebook group. All they need to do is say they're part of your team, and we'll let them in, and then they can participate. They'll see all the trainings, all the strategies. So basically they can be trained inside that Facebook group. And then what you're going to get on the very first page when you log into Unipro, you're going to get this. Here's your checklist, and there's a training that goes along with this. It shows you what to do on a daily basis, which tools to use in Unipro, how to use them. They're all linked right here. It tells you exactly what to do with the tools. And then on a monthly basis, there's a set of actions, these 4 actions that you want to do to clean up your audience, to get rid of dead leads, to just make sure that your Facebook algorithm is fine-tuned. So what I recommend is get your VA into the Facebook group, give your VA access to your Unipro account, which you can do. You can share your credentials with anyone you want. They can log into Unipro and have them watch this tutorial, and it explains exactly what they need to do. Great question.
Yeah, it's a very simple software to use. It's not hard at all. So
Ron, I know your VA runs some of your Unipro stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, all of it.
Yep. Yep.
Let's see. Anybody else got any questions? Let's see here. Let's see. Anybody else got any questions about the software or anything else?
If you guys have any last minute questions, otherwise, if you don't have questions, and I know, Ron, some people are going to be watching this on the replay, what I would encourage you guys to do is just do make a decision quickly on this. What we have set up is anyone who goes through this link in the next 24 hours, they're going to get the special pricing, the special 3 months for free. So again, I'll put the link on the screen here in case you didn't get that, unipro.com/Ron, and go join us. When you join us, what's going to happen, you are going to get a couple emails with login credentials, etc. The important thing, most important thing is you're going to be able to schedule an onboarding call where you're going to meet with us. We're going to walk you through the steps. We're going to help you get set up and just make sure everything is running ultra smoothly. So you get a 1-hour onboarding call right off the bat. And then, like I said, we do weekly coaching calls inside the group. So yeah, we're really excited to be working with you.
Question. I have a way of asking it. So George is asking, can you do this as an agency? So the one license is per profile, correct? And then are there additional, there used to be, I don't know if you changed it, but like discounts for additional licenses and stuff like that, but I don't know if you still do that.
Good question. Yeah. So I'll show you when you join Unipro, your Unipro account, it is attached to your personal profile on Facebook. I will say that you can manage as many groups as you want. So here are all the groups that I run. That's all included. So one profile, unlimited groups. If you have clients, so George, I don't know if this is what you're asking. Do you
Yeah,
have?
that's as an agency. Can he run it for other people?
So I've never said this publicly. So the short answer is no. The long answer is this is something we're working on right now. Yeah. I don't want to commit to anything else, but our goal is to eventually have an agency plan where you can have sub accounts. Yes, exactly like Go High Level. We really like how Go High Level is set up. So that's what we're building as well.
Nice. That's good to know from my perspective, because I was wanting to do that a long time ago.
Yeah. Sometimes people think, they say, well, Dave, why don't you just do this? Or they have ideas. Why don't you just do this? Unlike Go High Level, that is kind of like a standalone software, Unipro, it's interacting with Facebook. And so there is a high level of complexity. I know everything that I showed you today, it might just look simple, click a couple buttons and it does this. But the way that it engages with Facebook and the technology it uses with Facebook is very sophisticated. So building out an agency, a model, Ron, I know you asked about it probably a year ago. And it has been something that our developers have been looking into. We are making inroads on it. So that's something, I'm not going to put a time frame on it, but it is something that I personally want as well.
Yeah, that's exciting. Really exciting.
Yeah.
Mary, I just answered it. Does Unipro have an affiliate program? The answer is absolutely. So.
And for anyone, Mary, thanks for asking that. For anyone who joins, any Unipro member, you'll see actually right here, I'll show you. You can see on my screen, it says get affiliate link. So when you sign up for our affiliate program, we pay out 30% recurring commission. And to give you some numbers on that, if you have a referral who comes in on a monthly plan, it works out to about, you get paid about $60 a month, $60 a month, roughly 60. And then if someone through your affiliate link buys on an annual plan, it's just over 500. I think it's $508 that you get as an annual commission. So we have some of our affiliates who make a lot of money through the affiliate program. And if you have an audience who would really benefit from Unipro, once you get in and you start seeing the benefits from Unipro in your business, let's chat. I'd be happy to help you share that with your audience so that you can make a bunch of affiliate commissions as well, and so that your audience can benefit from the program too.
Awesome. Any last questions? I know we've got 3 minutes of Dave's time. So any last questions, anybody? All right. I guess that's it for today. Dave, man, thank you so much for doing this. This was awesome. Like you bring it as always. So I really appreciate you doing it. I really appreciate the offer that you made for us. So yeah, you have to come back when you learn some new stuff on the on Facebook. Which, yeah, by the way, another thing about I love about Dave is like, and I need to figure out how you're doing this, is he stays on the cutting edge of what Facebook's doing all the time. So he's such a good resource to have because he just, he's good about keeping up with what's going on. So.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. Ron, what I'd ask from you is, first off, everyone who stayed with us, I know we've been 90 minutes and we talked a lot today. So thanks for sticking with us. For everyone who signed up already, super excited to work with you. I'll see you over in the Unipro Facebook group in just probably in the next few minutes. Ron, I'm going to get you to send me the link to this live stream because I do want to go through the comments. And if anyone has a comment or a question now, I can answer that inside the chat. And I'll also go back in a few hours and just see. I know, Ron, you're probably sending out a recording of this. Mm-hmm. So if anyone is watching a replay of this and you have a question, you can go ahead and tag me in it. It's Dave Smith. Just tag me and I'll make sure you get the answer to any of your questions. Okay.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. And I will definitely send you the link afterwards. And yeah, everybody, we'll see y'all next time. Thank y'all for watching.
See you guys.